And his sons came and told him all the words that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, the word which he had spoken unto the king. Them they told also to their father. And their father said unto them, What way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of God went and came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, Saddle me the ass. Remember, they had donkeys and asses back then that they rode instead of vehicles like we ride today. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, Art thou the man of God that cameth from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, Come home with me, and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, Thou shalt eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. So in other words, he can't eat, he's on a fast. He can't eat or drink, and he can't go back. He can't backtrack. He can't go backwards. He can only move, he can only travel forwards. And he said unto him, now this is the old prophet that showed up out of nowhere. And this is how you got to watch the devil, because this is how he operates, or he can operate. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spoke unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with me into the house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied. He lied unto him. See, understand about the devil. You see, the word of the Lord, by the word of the Lord, somebody instructed him not to eat or drink and not to turn back. So what this deceitful prophet did was play the same game, but he played it in a way to get him to sin, to get him to fall into sin with God. It says here, because see, you got somebody who told him, okay, when we go back, it tells you here, he didn't say who, but he said the word of Lord. But the Lord, it says, okay, right here. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord. He didn't say who told him that, what prophet told him that. So it was somebody that already had told him to fast and to go forward and not turn back. So now you got another man that's claiming he's a prophet, and he's saying, okay, he's professing that I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel, he's saying that an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord. You see how he could, and you know, this man has to give an account for this lie, this deceitful lie that he has spoken to this man. He's got to give an account, you know. But it says, but an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with thee into the house, that he may eat and drink water. But he lied unto him. The devil will send people to deceive you. Okay? Expect it, because he will. So he went back with him, and did eat bread in his house, and drank water. And he cried unto the man of God, the prophet that lied to him, this is what he did now. After he done got him after he got him off of his path, it says, and he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, forasmuch as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and hast not kept the commandment which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but camest back, and hast eaten bread and drank water. Number one, he messed up. This deceitful prophet caused him to mess up in every way. It says, but camest back. He wasn't supposed to come back, and he came back, and has eaten bread. He wasn't supposed to eat bread, and he wasn't supposed to drink water. He was supposed to have been fasting. He messed up on all 3 points. Okay? It says, but camest back, and has eaten bread and drank water in the place of which the Lord thy God did say to thee, Eat no bread and drink no water. Thy carcass, your dead body, shall not come into the sepulchre, the burying place of thy fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread, and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. So after he got him to mess up, then he sat up there and professed the fact that that God said he was going to deal with him. It doesn't show him expressing any types of words about his deceit. It doesn't state anything like that. But the man, basically, after he had already messed up, he said, okay, it was time to move on, because he done messed up. But it says, and when he was gone, a lion met him by the way, and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way. And the ass stood by it, and the lion also stood by the carcass. And behold, men passed by, and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it in the city, and where the old prophet dwelt. So the news eventually spread and got back to this old prophet that set him up with deceit in the first place. And when the prophet had brought him back, and when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God. Now listen to what this deceitful prophet that set him up said. He said, It is the man of God, who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. Therefore the Lord hath delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. You know what? People are really like that in real life. Now this man set him up, caused him to lose his life, but never does it state anything about him acknowledging his dirt. Never does it say anything about the fact that he acknowledged, because when he's telling on this guy, he didn't admit any of his fault. He's talking about all this guy's fault. It says, and when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God, who was disobedient to the word of the Lord. Therefore the Lord hath delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. How come he didn't talk about none of the dirt he did? How he lied to him to get him to mess up. He didn't acknowledge none of his faults. He didn't acknowledge any of his dirty deeds. Expect that people will do this if you let them. People can only do what you allow, but if you let them, they will dog you out, and they will tell all of how you messed up and will leave themselves out of the story. And he spake to his son, saying, Saddle me the ass. And they saddled him. And he went and found the carcass in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass. So the lion didn't want the carcass to eat it, and he didn't even bother the ass that he had, or the mule or whatever. And the prophet took up the carcass of the man of God, and laid it upon the ass, and brought it back. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. Now the one that set him up to lose his life got the nerve of mourning, to pity. I mean, to be sorrowful that he's dead, and he's the one who set him up. People are really something else. And he laid his carcass in his own grave, because he told him he wasn't going to make it back to the sepulchre of his fathers. He wasn't going to die and be laid with his fathers. So this prophet put him in his own grave. And they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother. And it came to pass, after he had buried him, that he spake to his son, saying, When I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of God was buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. Okay? For the saying which he cried by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places which or in the cities of Samaria shall surely come to pass. So the things that he spoke were going to happen, but he is not buried with his fathers because he allowed the devil to trick him. He allowed the devil to use words through one of his false prophets to trick him. Well, how do I know he's false? He may be a prophet, but he's not a prophet of God. He's a prophet of the devil. Why? Because he lied. God would not lie. If he lied, we know that liars are not of God. Okay? Isn't one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor? You should not lie on your neighbor. Well, this guy here set him up and cost him his life. But because he lied to him by telling him he was sent, he was told by an angel of God that he was supposed to come back with him. So when God puts you on a path, you may as well keep to yourself, and like the Bible tells you, let not your left hand know what your right hand doeth. Don't let people know what you're doing. If they're not involved in what you need to do, then they don't need to know what you're doing. It's none of their business. Because if this man had not known what his quest was, he wouldn't have known how to come at him to cause him to lose his life and to get off of the correct path with God. It says, after this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil ways, but made again of the lowest of the people priests. The lowest of the people he ordained as priests of the high palaces. Whosoever would he consecrated him, and he became one of the high priests. And he became one of the priests of the high palaces. And this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off, and to destroy it from off the face of the earth. So, who it says, whosoever would, he consecrated him. Only the Levites were supposed to be priests of God. Okay, they were God's inheritance. So understand that the devil will trick you. He will come to you with lies and deceit, He'll come with you as if he's the most sincere person, because like he told him, I'm a prophet like you are. Okay? But he was a deceiver. Okay? It's the difference between being a prophet of God and a deceiver, because he lied to him. So understand that this is what the Satan does. He cometh not but to kill, steal, and to destroy. Now he called this man his life. He killed him. But that's what Satan does. So you have to understand that that's how he operates. I think I did read. But I want to make sure. Do it the easy way this time. Maybe you let me get that far. Let's see. Alright. Let's see if you'll let me abbreviate a little. Okay. Now this is another kind of description of Satan before his fall. It says, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty. Now this is how he created Satan. Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, and the beryl, and the onyx, and the jasper, and the sapphire, and the emerald, and the carbuncle, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabret and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. So this is the creation of Satan. I should have read this first. Excuse me. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. I have set thee so. God has made him that way. And it shows how he made him earlier. Okay, in beauty, wisdom, all kinds of precious gems, and his vocals, awesome voice. Thou was upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created. Satan was a created cherub angel till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore will I cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. See, this is telling you how Satan was made. And another example of what happened. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. and I will cast thee to the ground, and I will lay thee before the kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled the sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic, by the iniquities of thy traffic. Therefore I will bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, and it shall devour thee. And I will make thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. And that's really sad that you could be given so much and it's just never satisfied. Never satisfied. And some people are like that. No matter how much you give them, they will never be satisfied. Okay? And that's really unfortunate. And he, in the event of reaching out, as a result of reaching out, trying to get it all, he ended up with absolutely a life of eternal torment that's awaiting him. You know, and that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to wonder. And see, the Lord, he anointed certain ones. He gave them power to go out and to spread the word, to spread the gospel. Okay? But, and it's telling you here, and the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. That means they had power even over demonic forces. And the Messiah said, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from the heaven. Behold, I have given unto you power to tread on serpents, snakes, and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. Notice he said, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. If you keep God and his truths within your life, you have power to speak things into existence. You have power to just open your mouth to speak it. Because see, when you got God in you, you're not going to speak evil. You're not going to have hate in your heart. Even though you're going to be hated of the world, you're not going to hate the world back. You're just going to leave the world alone. You know, it tells you what fellowship have light with darkness. The workers of, you know, let me see. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Don't hang around people that don't follow God. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Two complete opposites. You can't mix fire and water together no more than you can mix light and darkness together. You're not going to mix God and Satan together. Okay? It's not going to work. One is going to overpower the other eventually. So, but they're not going to coexist together. It's, you know, and so understand that God is letting you know that he don't want you associated with people who are operating in sin, because he knows that they're going to try to get you. They're going to try to get you to sin. Okay, that's just what Satan does. It says, my son, if sinners entice thee, if they try to get you to do something that's not right, because he's a sinner. So if he tries to entice you to do something that's wrong, because that's what sinners do, is wrong, consent thou not. Don't go with him. Go your own separate way. Okay? He's letting you know it's not going to be for you to be hanging around people who do wrong, that do bad. Why? Because they will cost you, they'll end up getting you in trouble, because it's called, I think it's called like guilty by association. You might be a nice person, but if you hang around bad people all the time, it's gonna be hard to not think that you don't have some involvement in whatever type of activity they have going on. I mean, you're going to be around these people, but yet you don't do what they do. You know, I mean, how likely is that? Okay? So understand that this is a kind of twisted world that we're living in, because it is operated by a satanic, it's operated by a demonic force. Okay? But it tells you, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Okay? That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You know, a person who wants you to, let's say, who wants you to do drugs, who wants you to start drinking with them, they're not going to mention to you the end results of starting that habit. They're not going to tell you, if you start drinking with me, you're going to be an alcoholic, and you're going to be broke, and you're going to be homeless, and you're going to be in the streets. You're going to be with whatever type of kidney, lung, no, not kidney, liver, whatever types of organs this really, those toxins will affect over a period of time. You're never going to hear them tell you that. But they'll tell you, man, this will just make you feel good. You be floating on cloud 9 and stuff like that. Or let's say a druggie. I mean a drug dealer. He's trying to get you as a customer. He's not going to tell you that the drugs are habitual, that they're going to develop a habit, that they're going to, an addiction. Okay, he's not going to tell you that you're going to become an addict. He's not going to tell you that you're going to be stealing out of people's homes, and you're going to be doing all kind of devious things, stealing money out of people's purses. And he's not going to tell you all that. He's not going to tell you that. All he's going to do is get you hooked to become a customer. So he will tell you the good things about it. I don't know what could be good about it, but whatever good it'll make you feel good, or whatever he might tell you. It'll make you, it'll send you high, or whatever kind of words. And you got somebody that's under stress. Man, this will relax you, take your mind off stuff. You know, they talk a good talk, but they don't tell you the truth. They're not telling you what you need to hear. They're only telling you what words will cause you to benefit them in the end. Okay? So these are examples of calling evil good. And some people who, or let's say for instance, a virgin. You ain't got no boyfriend, are you? Really? You know, to make a virgin feel as if her virginity is a bad thing. Well, yeah, but she'll probably not get AIDS. Have you ever thought about that? Okay? So understand, we're living in this type of world where Satan is highly active. His demonic forces are highly active, and he'll do whatever it takes to get you to fall. Okay? We read this before, how Satan is a trickster. He's a deceiver. I want to read all of this. Well, not all of it, but was that 12? Oh, 14. Let me see. Wait, let me go back. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, let's look at a little more about how this old serpent works. I'm kind of tired now. I might have to go over some more of this when I'm more up, when I can remember some of the scriptures I need to really give you. But it tells you here about the enemy, Satan. No marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Remember when we went over this? Wherefore it is no great thing that his ministers also be transformed into ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Now remember, we just read about that deceitful prophet that lied to the man of God and cost him his life. Well, you may as well have called him it says, therefore it is no great thing that his ministers, Satan has ministers. He has people set up in ministries to deceive you. Just like that man of God. He was supposed to have been a man of God, but which God? Was he a man of our Yah God? Or was he a man of the God of this world? Okay, let's read here. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God, little God, of this world hath blinded the minds. He blinds the mind. See, Satan attacks your mind. He plays mind games with you. He'll send somebody up to you to deceive you. If you're looking for a mate, he'll put a fine physical, whatever type of that floats your boat person up in your face to deceive you. Or he'll put people in position that you think are of God and they're not, and they will deceive you. Do not follow anything that you know is not right. If God tells you to do something, then don't tell people your business. Don't even tell them what mission you're on. Just go. Because if they don't know what God has put for you to do, then they can't send sabotages your way. They can't block you and hinder you and try to get you to sin, because that's what this demonic foe does. It says, in whom the God of this world hath blinded people's minds. Of them, blinded the minds of them which believe not. They don't believe, and he's going to keep it that way. He's going to do everything he can to keep you blinders on your eyes, to keep you lost. Because if he don't, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Okay? So understand that that's what he does. He is a deceiver. You cannot befriend him. You cannot befriend Satan. Let me sit up. Tired. I'm trying to kind of get relaxed while I'm going over these scriptures, but I'm trying to get as much out as I can while I can. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, okay. I must have just researched this here recently because that matched right up. Now, where was that at? 2 Timothy 2 and 3 is oh, this is something I need to read. Okay, understand that it tells you, no man that warreth, meaning that is operating in the Lord, that's in spiritual combat, that is walking in the Spirit. And when you're walking in the Spirit, you're not going to fulfill the lust of the flesh. But it tells you, no man that warreth, no soldier of God, nobody who's in combat for God, okay, who's doing God's will and walking in God's way, entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Okay, what this is saying, no man that warreth, no man that is in spiritual battle, entangleth himself with the affairs, with the concerns of this life. What does that mean? Caught up in politics, caught up in all kinds of things that the world is gravitated to, tangible things that are not spiritual, caught up in just things that people are just so entangled up in, that's a big deal to the world. You shouldn't be concerned about that. You're on a spiritual walk. Okay? It says that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. What you're trying to do is war to get people back with the Lord. Like these videos I'm doing. You know, sometimes I am exhausted. I'm looking at the clock now. I think I woke up at about, I took a nap, I got off work, and I took a nap, and then and I slept hard so that I will be able to stay up and do as many of these videos as I could. Well, I woke up at about 5 this evening, and I'm now looking at the clock, and it is 5:42. So I've been up for about 12 hours, strictly doing videos. As you saw me go and check the videos that were downloading, that I had just downloaded earlier. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and publish these right now. And I did these videos earlier, and now I'm putting them on air. But understand, and this is 5 more videos that I took time to do, and after these videos I'm just doing more videos. So when it comes to the things of God, you will press to do them. Now I've just currently put up 5 more videos, aired up 5 more videos, so I can come out of that, because I've finished this up. I don't need this right now. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to leave. But I don't need that up right now. But okay. So just to work for the Lord, I have to take the opportunities available for me to do this, to put His truths out while I have it. Okay. So I'm trying to wrap up as many videos as I can while I can. Okay. So those were videos number 39 through I think 43. Okay. So, but I love the things of God, but you know, because I'm in this flesh, I do tire. I do get tired. But I want to just show you some things about how you're going to have to walk in the Lord, but we're talking about the enemy now. Okay. Okay, and this is how, and we're just going over some things. Okay, it tells you here, be sober. Don't be high, don't be drunk, don't be out of your right mind. Be sober, be vigilant, be watchful, be alert, pay attention, because your adversary, your enemy, which is the devil, he is our enemy. He is not and never will be a friend. Know that. You cannot make a deal with him. You cannot make a pact with him. Why? Because the devil ain't gonna keep it. He's the devil. He's the father of a lie. It says, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom he might eat up, who he might just you know, destroy. That's what he does. That's what he does. He's the father of a lie. That is what the enemy does. It says, for your enemy Satan, he's a liar, and he is the father of a lie. Okay, so understand that Satan is going to be Satan. You can't get mad at a snake for being a snake. Okay, you can't get mad at Satan for being Satan, especially the fact that you know, okay, that he is a liar and the father of a lie. If you know that Satan is a liar, and you trust him anyways, then you put yourself in that position. Okay? Understand that if you know that you're dealing with a demonic force that you cannot control, okay? Know that you cannot control it. Now understand that it said, the Messiah said unto them, if God were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my words. When you're not of God, your mind is carnal. Okay, you're not going to gravitate to the things of God. You are too entangled and caught up at the things of this world, or shall I say, the devil. And that's why you will not gravitate to the things of truth. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there was no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Understand that if you know that the devil is a liar, then how possibly can you think you go into any kind of trust agreement with the liar? Because it's nothing for him to break his word and to break his trust and to break his treaty or anything else, because he is a liar. That's what he does. He lies. So understand that. He's a liar, and you cannot control him. Let me see something. Okay, let me see if I can zoom this. Okay, let's make it a little smaller so you can see the name at the bottom. Okay, in the book of Enoch, this is it looks there to be chains coming down, holding, but he does not have the form of a human. It shows him with 6 wings. I think the cherub has 4. I could be wrong. But the name is Azazel, rising. He's not rising. Azazel, this must be somebody who is a devil worshiper. Because Azazel is another name for Satan, the devil, in the book of Enoch. But by it saying Azazel rising, this must be somebody who is a devil worshiper. Okay? Because he's not arising. He is fallen and he's going to hell, and they're going to be right in hell with him if they are following him. This shows a depiction, because Satan is not human. Okay? We have developed all these human features as if God's angel and all that is human, but they're not going to be on a human, in a human form. They're showing a human with wings, cast down as if Satan was a human being cast down. Of course, he was cast down. It shows where he is beyond the stars, cast down, and this is the earth, being cast down upon this earth. With all the earth, the other planets out there, it's unfortunate that he was cast down onto our earth. And it shows here where he's regretful now. In the book of Enoch, it shows him, this is a statue of him out in somebody's park, that they would show a picture of, make a statue of the enemy, where he can, it looks like he's having a problem looking up into heaven, and I don't know if that's a snake on him or what, but yeah, it is a snake, because you can see the coils wrapped around his leg, so it's got a snake on him. It's weird. Okay, but he did use a serpent to deceive, and he's called an old serpent, but here it shows just a depiction where he and the angels, they all cast down, but they really do not look in human form. Okay, here's Azazel again, as you'll see his name spelled Azazel in the book of Enoch. There we go. And there's Azazel again, that you'll find that in the book of Enoch. That's why it's good to read other books as well, because you can learn a little more than just, you don't want to read. I'm not saying other books, like sometimes you'll have a minister that will do well in his ministry, then all of a sudden they'll want to write a book as if the Bible is not sufficient or enough material. They want to write their own books. You see, stay clear of the thoughts of man. This is another depiction of the angels falling, fallen angels from heaven. And this shows the war. I guess there must be Michael and his archangels, although they do not, again, have human form. But here, him and his angels are all falling down to the earth. Okay. And yes, he is a deceiver. I'm going to have to take a little break here. But when I come back, I'm going to be, I've already started exposing the devil. But I should have started the videos first probably. But it's okay. We're getting it. And at least you can write down these scriptures. I'll be right back.